I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling that winter COVID weight, and I am ready for something a little bit lighter now that the weather is warmer. There is nothing better than seared fish. It's super simple and easy, and as long as you know how to baste it properly, it's the perfect light meal that you can make in about 10 minutes. Tilapia, we're going to be working with tilapia today. Tilapia is a flatfish that looks like this. The fillets, I'm sorry, it's not a flatfish, but the fillets are flat and look like this. It has a slender side on this side and a really meaty side on this side. So if you want to, so that the fish cooks evenly, I'm going to just trim these little edges off. You can save this and make a fish stock, or you can discard it, up to you. This tilapia we got from a wonderful local aquaponic farm in Whiteheath, Illinois. So this is local fresh tilapia. Please contact Cost Family Farms if you're interested in purchasing it. I'm pairing it with a beautiful Cost Family Farms lettuce today. There's nothing better than local fish and local lettuce right here in your own backyard. So I'm going to do a simple preparation with this tilapia. Because it's local and fresh, I know that the flavor is going to be excellent. So I don't want to add a whole bunch of sauces or purees to mask that flavor. I want to keep this super simple and super fresh. So after I've trimmed my tilapia fillet, I'm going to season it with a little bit of kosher salt. I don't like black pepper on fish. Usually I like white pepper. It's a little bit less severe. So I'm just not going to pepper it at all since I don't have any white pepper. I'm just going to season it with a little bit of salt. Now I have my saute pan with some vegetable oil, about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You don't want a lot, you just want enough to coat the bottom of the pan. I'm going to test my pan and make sure it's hot. I'm waiting for that salt to sizzle. You don't want to put your fish into a cold pan. Otherwise, the fish will stick to the bottom of the pan and then it'll all fall apart. The flesh of the fish isn't as hardy as meat, so it can be flaky and fall apart pretty easily. The other thing about your fillet is that you want to make sure it's really dry on both sides. You can even sprinkle a little bit of flour on top. If it's not dry, that water will pop the oil in the pan. You could burn yourself and it will also stick to the bottom. So now that I have my seasoned dry fillet, I'm going to put it in my hot saute pan. And you can hear that beautiful sizzle. While it's spaced down, I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to the back of the fish. I really want the fish to get an even sear. You can start to tell when it's time to turn your fish when there's a little white cooked line that outlines the outside of the fillet. You can see it here on this smaller part, how the pigment is a little bit opaque instead of translucent. So I'm going to let this saute for a couple more seconds. And then if you think it's ready to flip, you can always check on it. Not ready, so I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. This is a very simple recipe, very easy to do. Because the fish is so wonderful, I'm literally just going to squeeze a half a lemon on top just to bring out the natural flavor of the fish. I'm not trying to mask anything or put a heavy dressing on the salad. The lettuce is also equally as wonderful, and lettuce is in season right now that we have some warmer temperatures, so you can find your lettuce at the farmer's market. You can find it from Solagradia Farm, Blue Moon Farm, or maybe you're growing your own in your backyard. I've let this cook a little bit longer. I'm now going to flip my fish carefully. You can see how it has this golden brown crust on the outside. While my fish is cooking on that side, I'm going to put a knob of butter. How much is a knob, you say? Well, it depends on who you are. A knob to me is about a tablespoon of butter right into the pan. Now, what we're gonna do is as this butter melts, I'm gonna take this brown butter and caramelize the top of the fish with it. And I'm gonna finish cooking the fish by basting it. Basting it is where I take this warm butter and spoon it right over the top. And that's going to give it a really nice, rich flavor. I have the pan lean back a little bit so most of my liquid pools at the bottom, and you can really get a good spoonful. You can also move your fish around a little bit with the spoon if you need to. And so I'm going to baste this until the fish is finished cooking. Fish does not take that long to cook, especially tilapia. The fillets are so flat that it really only takes a couple minutes. You can tell when your fish is finished by testing it right here, and if it flakes off, you can see how it easily pulled the flesh apart, and that part is done. To test the top part, I'm going to try to do the same thing with my spoon, and you can see I pulled a little bit of the flesh off, and already our tilapia is fully cooked. I'm going to baste it a couple more times and then take it off the heat. And I don't want that butter or oil to follow the fish, so when I scoop it with my spatula, I want to make sure to drain all that excess fat off of it. And don't worry about the knob of butter and your calories, because the rest of this dish is so healthy that it'll be fine having a tablespoon of butter. Now I'm going to bring my fish over on top of this beautiful Boston bib lettuce. And I'm going to finish it by just taking a lemon, a half lemon, and I'm going to hold it flesh side down in my fingers. And my fingers are going to act like a strainer for the seeds. So what you get is you get a beautifully juiced, with no seeds, lemon juice. And I'm really going to coat this lettuce. And you don't want too much on the fish. You'll end up using about half your lemon. And then you can always set it on the side of the plate for garnish. So I hope you guys are out of that meat phase of living and into some lighter meals for this warm weather.